I was just about to grab that 250 yuan luxury fruit basket and visit her at the hospital when, with a boom, a wall of comments exploded before my eyes. Haha, the heroine's childhood friend is back from abroad, so she's using fake amnesia to dump the older guy. She really knows how men work. That older guy will go insane with jealousy. He'll blow his entire fortune like a rabid dog, then kneel and beg her to remember him. What do you think? Will the second male lead realize she's faking it? No way. The heroine even got her best friend to cover for her. She'll keep this airtight. The comments kept flooding in, but I laughed. I was the one in those comments about to lose everything. The older guy who would kneel and beg. Those idiots didn't know. I'd already had my fill of the poor campus beauty type. She was faking amnesia. She'd handed me an out I fucking couldn't have wanted more. I immediately pulled out my phone and found the number of her hot friend I'd had my eye on. I sent her a message. I've liked you for a long time. 50 million yuan a month. Be my woman. Are you in? Her reply came instantly. Brother G, 100,000 is enough. 500,000 is too much. I wouldn't feel right taking it. Later, her friend and I went at it in the room for 30,000 rounds. When the heroine's heartbroken wail came from outside the door. Brother G, I remember everything now. If you'll only look back at me, I'd give you my life. The friend in my arms didn't even look up. She merely curled her lip disdainfully toward the door. All he ever gives are these worthless things. In my third year of keeping Ruyan, every trace of novelty she'd held for me had worn away. Even her delicate face had lost its glow. Her once cool demeanor had also become increasingly difficult to put up with. The woman I had once put on a pedestal had, under the passage of time, become a nagging nuisance I couldn't shake. All love in this world ends the same way. Expressionlessly, I rubbed my temple and took my phone from my pocket. Still, she'd been with me for so long. Even if we split up, I'd give her a generous enough settlement. Ruyan would never have to worry about making a living again. I just found her number when, before I could dial, her call came in first. Hello, is this Mr. G. Boda? That was far too polite for the nagging nuisance she'd become. Puzzled, I asked, Ruyan, what's going on? What happened? Before I could finish, she cut me off impatiently. I was in a car accident. I hurt my head and lost my memory. My memories have reverted to 3 years ago. Now, Qiang is the only person I remember. As for you, I've deleted you for now. I was about to ask another question, but the line had already gone dead. When I called back, she'd already blocked me. I was left standing there, phone in hand, stunned. Not long after, my phone chimed. It was a charge alert from my supplementary bank card. The charge was from a private hospital. The amount was small, nowhere near the deposit for emergency treatment of a serious injury. Well, she'd forgotten me, her benefactor, completely. But she hadn't forgotten how to spend my money. I felt both pleasantly surprised and worried. I immediately went out and bought that 250 yuan fruit basket, then drove to the hospital listed on the charge. The moment I stepped out of my car, another dense wave of comments flashed before me. The classic amnesia plot is starting. The heroine is so clever. The childhood friend hero returns from abroad, and she wants to rekindle things with him. Taking advantage of a minor fender bender, she brilliantly comes up with pretending to have amnesia. The second male lead has always been an arrogant rich brat. Only when the heroine loses her memory and forgets him will he be overcome with regret. To help her regain her memories, he'll grovel after her for a whole year. He'll burn through more than half his fortune. Yet our heroine won't even spare him a glance. She'll lead him around by the nose. That second male lead has such an awful temper. I just want to see the lead's sweet romance. Please let this older guy exit the story already. My hand went slack, and the 250 yuan fruit basket hit the ground with a thud. Looks like this fruit was bought for nothing. From what the comments revealed, I was probably the second male lead in the story. My purpose in existing was, after hearing the heroine had forgotten me, to immediately lose my mind over love, hand over my vast fortune, and beg only for her to remember me again. With that enormous sum, I'd forcefully turn a poor girl into a female chief executive, and I myself would die, bitter and jealous, miserably in a tiny rented room, bringing my arrogant life to its final close. But here's the problem. I didn't love Ruyan nearly as much as those comments claimed. Why should I give everything up for her? Why hand over my entire family fortune? Besides, I'm this rich. So, what if my temper is a little bad? She's just a canary I've kept. It's not as though she's a suitable match in an arranged marriage. I give her money to spend. Am I supposed to provide emotional support to? Without another word, I strode into the hospital. A young led me with practiced ease, expertly led me to a ward door. Through the thin door and its glass window, I clearly saw Ruyan looking smug. The moment my childhood friend returned from abroad, I came up with this amnesia act. It's perfect for getting rid of Boda for good. Youwei, you have to keep the secret airtight. My gaze naturally shifted to Youwei. So this was her friend. I'd heard Ruyan mention her casually a few times. She was nothing like Ruyan's fragile, delicate type. Youwei had the untamed allure of a sexy wildcat. Her summer t-shirt was thin, making it easy to see. Her full curves and taut waist beneath it. That healthy, honey brown skin struck straight at my heart. My face flushed as I stared. I was instantly captivated. With a knockout friend like that, Ruyan had actually kept her from me for 3 years. She really was nothing but a clingy nuisance. Inside the room, Ruyan frowned impatiently. I'm talking to you. Did you hear me? Youwei answered in a cool voice. Aren't you afraid you're taking this too far? What if Brother Boda really doesn't want you anymore? Ryan's delicate face was full of confident smiles. You know him better than that. That older guy loves me to his core. After suddenly learning I'd lost my memory and forgotten him, he's probably heartbroken somewhere right now. In the days ahead, he'll do everything he can to please me and cling to me without letting go. How could he dare ignore me? Still, what a shame. I hate that spoiled rich boy attitude of his most. Qiang is much better. He's gentle and thoughtful. That's what a real man should be like. No wonder Ruyan was so sure of herself. 3 years ago, I returned to my alma mater to give a speech. By chance, I saw her in a grove dappled with shadows. Lust went straight to my head. I stopped her and asked, will you be my girlfriend? Ruyan knew exactly who I was. The only son of the G group. I was only 25 that year, with a fortune worth 10 billion yuan. Her eyes lit up, and she immediately nodded. Of course I will. I've stayed single all this time, waiting for you. Brother G. Her sweet little mouth was dripping with honey. Back then, she never once mentioned any childhood friend. During those 3 years together, I went all out to spoil her, no matter how expensive something was. If her gaze lingered on it for 1 extra second, I'd eagerly place it right before her. The way I acted, I was like some ancient young master, spending a fortune just to please an entertainer. All for that proud, haughty charm. But even delicacies grow tiresome when you've had too much of them. Inside the hospital room, Ruyan looked up impatiently again. Youwei, once Boda learns I've lost my memory, he'll definitely come looking for me. He'll beg you to help me recover my memories. Don't let anything slip when that happens. The second she finished speaking, I gave her exactly what she wanted. I took out my phone and found Youwei's contact. Then I sent her a message. I've got my eye on you. 500,000 and you want a month. Be my girlfriend. Interested? The comments scrolled even faster. What is the second male lead doing? Why would the heroine's friend ever like him? She's just playing hard to get. That trick is so cliche. I can't wait. I just want to see the male lead reunite with the heroine after coming home. The male lead arrives tonight. In the small hospital room, a phone chimed. Ruyan looked certain she had everything under control. It must be from Boda. Is he desperately asking about my injuries? Worried about how I'm doing? Youwei visibly froze. She instinctively turned off her screen, then quietly hid the phone behind her back. Then she gave a muffled hum. Ruyan immediately felt everything was in her grasp. Her voice turned bright. All right, I need to pick up Qiang at the airport. I'll be late if I keep dawdling. Brother G. 100,000 is enough. 500,000 is too much. I wouldn't feel right taking it. Compared to Ruyan, Youwei clearly understood how to make a living as a kept woman. I immediately drove back to the villa. I called Annie Wang over, pointed to the south-facing bedroom upstairs, and said, go, clear everything out and throw it away. Annie Wang stared at me in shock. Sir, this is Miss Liu's room. Everything inside. Do you really want it all thrown out? Ruyan had lived in my villa for 3 years, pampered like royalty. She had never lifted a finger. Even Annie Wang, who had raised me, took impeccable care of her. But hasn't she lost her memory now? She surely won't remember the way back to the villa. Perfect. Out with the old, in with the new. It was time to make room for someone new. My voice left no room for negotiation. She'll never come back. Everything. Leave nothing behind. Clear it all out and throw it away. Over the past 3 years, I had bought Ruyan far too many things. This little amnesia act of hers was probably a sudden whim, inspired by that minor car accident. She hadn't had time to pack her things at all. The staff worked until the middle of the night, before the bedroom was completely emptied. Valuable or not, everything was disposed of as trash. The tide of the comments had quietly shifted. Annie Wang, have mercy. That's the latest dress. Give me the address. I'll go pick it up. And those limited edition earrings. That pile of skincare products. Oh my god, I want to go scavenging too. Young master, I know exactly how to make a living as your kept woman. Please give me a chance. To be fair, the second male lead is seriously rich. Didn't you all want to watch the leads fall in love? How has his money won every one of you over? Unfortunately, that comment was instantly buried beneath a flood of others. 8 hours after Ruyan's amnesia, I had cleared away every last one of her belongings. She had completely vanished from my world. Now, my world was finally peaceful. It just needed someone attentive by my side. I was about to message Youwei, but she sent me a video first. In the video, inside a dimly lit private bar room, Liu Ruyan was nestled in a young man's arms. She gazed at him tenderly and said, Qiang, if Boda hadn't interfered back then, we would have been together long ago. In her version of things, I became an unforgivable older man who tore apart a pair of star-crossed lovers. Using my money, I had forced the two lovers apart. If she refused, I would make sure she couldn't graduate for her own future and her childhood friends. Liu Ruyan had supposedly agreed to be with me in humiliation, but I clearly remembered that grove 3 years ago. When she heard my confession, the delight on her face couldn't have been fake. If she told me then that she loved someone else, I wouldn't have wasted a second on her. Girls like her, from ordinary families and with pretty faces, formed a long line to chase me, whether they wanted my money or my power. Every last one swore that they loved only me. What they really loved didn't matter to me. What mattered was only what I could get from them. I glanced at the liquor on the table in the video. It was a bottle of Hennessy, worth several 100,000 yuan. When Liu Ruyan and I were together, this kind of liquor was everyday entertainment. I wouldn't blink no matter how many bottles were opened. But things were different now. My little canary had amnesia and had voluntarily cut ties with her benefactor. She had barely any money of her own. Though I was generous with gifts, I rarely gave cash directly. Without cash, they were far more likely to stay obedient. The only thing Liu Ruyan could use now was the supplementary card in her hand. This private room's bill wouldn't be cheap. Without hesitation, I froze that supplementary card. Then I sent Youwei a message. Go home early and get some rest. I want to see you tomorrow. By then, Liu Ruyan was already drunk, her eyes hazy. In 3 years with Boda, this was the most carefree day she'd ever had. She no longer had to watch his mood or carefully curry his favor, nor did she have to let him dominate everything. She was a person with dignity too. A woman's pride is so strong. How could she let a man walk all over her? Boda would never learn how to make a woman happy. Qiang was better. He knew how to please her. They'd had enough to drink, and the mood was right. What came next was obvious to them both. After Youwei read my message, her expression turned strange. She made an excuse and left first. In the spacious private room, only the two of them remained. Liu Ruyan rested her head on Qiang's shoulder. Tomorrow, I'll take you shopping. I'll buy you a few of the newest watches. Excitement practically overflowed from Qiang's eyes. Really? Yanyan, you don't need to spend so much on me. That's nothing. My room is so piled with luxury goods, there's no space left. I was just wondering where to throw them, so I could buy a new batch. Your room has already been cleared out. Now only for load-bearing walls remain. This is so annoying. Why isn't the second male lead following the script? My heart hurts. I want to dig through the trash for Annie Wang's discarded treasures. Oh no, the female lead is about to pay the bill. Her supplementary card won't work. This is going to be awkward. Liu Ruyan called the waiter over to pay. She handed over the supplementary card. Soon, the waiter returned with an uncomfortable look. Miss, I'm sorry, but this card has been frozen. Perhaps you could try the primary card or use another card. Liu Ruyan called at that exact moment. It couldn't have come at a worse time. I was engrossed in a video call with Youwei, wondering what her cup size was. My perfectly good mood was ruined by that call. The moment it rang, I answered without much patience. Sure enough, Liu Ruyan's furious voice exploded through the phone. Boda, what gives you the right to freeze my supplementary card? I leisurely glanced at the caller ID. My little canary had finally decided to remove me from her blacklist. It's my supplementary card. I can freeze it whenever I want. What's it got to do with you? If you freeze the card, what am I supposed to use to pay for anything? Then let me ask you this. What exactly is our relationship? Why do you have to use my card? That one question left Liu Ruyan speechless. There was instant silence on her end. If she admitted she was my girlfriend, her fake amnesia would be exposed. But if she denied it, how could she play the rich girl before her childhood friend? That dilemma. I tossed straight back at her. She stammered for a long while before Liu Ruyan angrily spat out. I was planning to regain my memory soon, but now I don't see the need. HMPH. With that, she slammed the phone down. That's right. Don't rush to get her memory back. Let the second male lead suffer. Don't worry. Once he sees the female lead in her beloved childhood friend's arms, he'll be more desperate than anyone. It still pains me. So many good things thrown away just like that. The commenter above is being too short-sighted. Once the second male lead can't take it anymore and wants to help the female lead recover her memory, he'll throw however much money it takes at her. Watching the comments scroll across the screen, I was utterly baffled. How much imaginary inner drama had these people invented for me? When did I ever show that I cared whether Liu Ruyan had amnesia? When I dated Liu Ruyan, we went to upscale restaurants, bars, or hotels. But with Youwei, I chose the foot of a mountain. I changed into hiking clothes. With a fully packed backpack on my back, I looked up at the towering mountain ahead, my eyes shining with excitement. Youwei looked a little shy. She cautiously asked me, "Brother, why don't I carry your pack? I'm not tired. Even if I carried you to the summit, I wouldn't get tired." As she said it, her ears were red enough to bleed. I reached out and pinched her earlobe. "If you can't flirt, Don't force it. She immediately lowered her head, quietly trying to explain herself. I'm just scared you won't like me anymore, brother. After all, you pay me 100,000 yuan a month. I have to make you feel you're getting your money's worth. Youwei really had incredible stamina. By the halfway point, I was already gasping for air. But she carried both our packs, and her breathing was still perfectly steady. Seeing that I truly couldn't go on, she took my bag without a word. Then she sat beside me while I rested, offering water and wiping away my sweat. Watching her focused expression and breathing in her faint fragrance, I couldn't help but reflect. The one you yearn for is far more alluring than the one you take for granted. As night began to fall, Youwei and I finally reached the summit. I pointed at the packs on the ground. Let's set up the tent. Youwei froze completely. Brother, we're sleeping here tonight. What? You don't want to? I frowned. Could this little wildcat really not want to camp outdoors with me? I've never liked forcing people. So I immediately took out my phone, played a ringtone, then quickly stopped it. I pretended to answer a call. Hello, Qiang. What? A 100-ton truck ran over you? Alright, I'll head to the hospital right away. The moment I lowered my phone, Youwei panicked. She hurriedly explained. No, that's not it. I was just afraid you'd think the tent was too shabby, brother. That's why I asked. I really want to stay outside with you. Youwei looked genuinely anxious. Sweat ran down from her forehead, along her cheeks, past her neck, then vanished beneath her t-shirt collar. I was practically drooling. 24-year-olds really are full of energy. Every emotion was written plainly on her face. Then hurry up and pitch the tent. It's nearly dark. What about brother Qiang, who got run over by that truck? Oh, he's fine. Just superficial injuries. He can buy some povidone iodine and dab it on later. It's nothing serious. At that, Youwei immediately began pitching the tent with delight. I sat to one side, eating washed fruit. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the comments flooding in again. The second male lead and second female lead make a pretty cute couple. They are nowhere near as sweet as our main couple. Their love has been so difficult. They're finally about to get their happy ending. Look, the female lead told the male lead she lives in a suburban villa. She's taking him home. The male lead's eyes were full of delight. Isn't that villa the second male lead's? The female lead has lived there for so long. What's wrong with calling it her home? Is there a problem with that? Of course there is. I am the villa's true owner, and I never agreed to it. Without a second thought, I immediately called Madame Wang. Nanny Wang, remove Liu Ryan's fingerprint from the system. Also, give everyone at the villa the night off. Tell all the staff to go home and rest. The car slowly approached the villa. Liu Ryan still wore a smug smile. The suburban villa was lavishly furnished. Bringing her childhood sweetheart here for the night would make her look incredibly impressive. The luxury car stopped before the pitch-black villa gates. Qiang asked in delight. Yanyan, this is your home? Liu Ryan nodded proudly. She was even plotting to herself. If she ran into Boda later, she absolutely could not acknowledge him. She wanted him to see her love for her childhood sweetheart with his own eyes, and drive him mad with jealousy. Admiration nearly overflowed from Qiang's eyes. I've only been abroad for 3 years. How did you become so rich? Liu Ryan did not answer directly. Instead, she said meaningfully, there is a lot you don't know. Just as she stepped forward to scan her fingerprint beside the villa, Nanny Wang suddenly appeared. She looked tired of waiting. Coldly shaking the car keys in her hand, she said, this car belongs to our young master. We are taking it back now. The two of you can take a cab later. With that, she opened the driver's door of the Rolls-Royce, hit the gas, and sped away. It soon vanished into the night. Qiang was stunned. Yanyan, why did someone else drive off in your car? How does she have your car keys? Liu Ryan's face instantly turned crimson. She could only make up an excuse. She's my housekeeper. She's had some problems with her head lately. Ignore her. I'll fire her tomorrow. Let's go inside first. As she spoke, she pressed her hand to the fingerprint scanner. A cold mechanical voice rang clearly across the silent mountaintop. Fingerprint not recognized. The tent had just been set up when my phone began ringing at the worst possible moment. It was Liu Ryan again. In one day, she had unblocked me twice already. I was like a grasshopper, constantly hopping in and out of her block list. I was holding Youwei as we watched the summit's night view. I could not be bothered to answer, but the ringtone sounded like a death knell. One call after another, without end. I was thoroughly fed up. When the 7th call came in, I answered it. Liu Ryan's hysterical roar immediately came through the phone. Boda, why did you delete my fingerprint? I feigned confusion. Sorry, who is this? The furious voice on the other end abruptly stopped. After a long while, she finally forced out through gritted teeth. I'm Liu Ryan. So what? What are we to each other now? Why should my villa keep your fingerprint on file? I threw the same question right back at her. It seemed Liu Ryan had made up her mind to keep playing this amnesia act to the end. She held it in for ages, but all her fury finally became one sentence. You and I have no relationship whatsoever. The day we meet again, don't regret what you've done today. After leaving that threat, she angrily hung up again. I scoffed dismissively. After seeing her for 3 years, I was long tired of the sight of her. Where did she get the confidence to think that the moment I saw her, I would fall in love with her again? The floating comments began scrolling across the sky again. They all accused me of saying one thing and meaning another. Second male lead. Stop being difficult. Just treat the female lead well. Maybe she'll see how good you are. Soften and come back to you. Once you see the female lead's sweet love for the male lead, you'll be green with envy. The second male lead may be interested in the female lead sister now, but that's because he's never seen how the female lead treats other men. Exactly. The female lead is far prettier than her sister. These comments did not understand at all. Looks alone. Ruyan was indeed a little prettier than Youwei, but I had been with her for 3 years. After 3 years together, even Fan Bingbing would start looking like Sister Feng, especially a woman like her, with such a bad temper and no inner beauty whatsoever. My taste had changed. I no longer liked arrogant women. I only liked fiery little wildcats. I lifted Youwei's chin with a finger. Tonight, you'd better impress me. Youwei's body stiffened. She pulled back slightly. I frowned again. Was she trying to reject me? I still did not like forcing anyone. I took out my phone again and played a ringtone. This time, I could not even be bothered to pretend it was an alarm. I pretended to take a call. Ah Qiang, what is it? What? You just escaped from under a 100-ton truck's wheels, and now a semi-truck has sent you flying over 300 yards. Stay where you are. I'll call an ambulance right away. Youwei anxiously cut off. Brother, I wasn't refusing just now. I only meant this place is so basic. Do you really plan to do it in a tent, instead of lying in a clean bed at a 5-star hotel? Clearly, Youwei was truly panicking. She even took my hand herself and placed it on her chest. Lust had taken over my mind. What is so great about lying in bed? In a lifetime, we spend almost half our time in bed. Skipping it a few times will not change your life. This place is perfect. It has not only primal desire, but romance, poetry, and adventure. Only then did Youwei relax. Still conflicted, she asked. That's good. Oh, right? That ill-fated brother Qiang who was hit by the semi-truck. For such minor injuries, he can get up and walk himself to the hospital. At most, they give him 2 boxes of cephalosporin. He's just being dramatic. He has to bother me over every little injury. The night breeze was gentle. I lost myself in Youwei's eager ministrations. After a sweat-drenched encounter, Youwei's phone rang. Her voice still carried a huskiness from desire. Ruyan on the other end heard it clearly. Sorry, Youwei, I interrupted your fun. If you know you're interrupting, then hang up right now. Ruyan was left speechless by the retort. I'll keep this brief. Tell Boda that tomorrow I'm taking Qiang to a luxury store to buy a watch. Let him know where I'll be. When he sees me being sweet to another man, I refuse to believe he will not panic. Youwei looked at me pitifully and nuzzled into the hollow of my neck. Brother, are you really worried? I caressed her slender waist, unable to get enough. With you here, how could I possibly worry about her? I'm just curious. Where did she get the money to buy luxury goods for her childhood sweetheart? In the past, I often took Ruyan shopping at luxury stores. I'd add a few watches to my collection and pick up necklaces and handbags for her too. Early this morning, the saleswoman eagerly called me. She said the store had received several new models. I eagerly took the cable car down the mountain, then called Qiang and hurried to the store. The moment I entered, I could not put down several globally limited watches, turning them over and over in my hands. The floating comments chimed in. The second male lead really came to the luxury store to wait for the female lead. I told you, the female lead lost her memory. How could he not be worried? He's saying one thing and meaning another. In a moment, the second male lead will surely try to win the female lead's favor by offering to buy her a mountain of handbags. Here they come. The female lead has arrived with her childhood sweetheart. I glanced over my shoulder. The amnesiac female lead had her arm linked through her childhood sweethearts, and they entered the luxury store affectionately. The comments had revealed last night that the two had failed to spend the night at the villa. Facing her childhood sweetheart's suspicious look, Ruyan racked her brains before coming up with an excuse to brush him off. The front gate is broken. I'll have someone fix it when I have time. To placate her childhood sweetheart, she offered to bring him shopping for luxury goods today. Qiang did not suspect a thing. They had admired each other in college. When I asked Ruyan to be my girlfriend, she could not wait to nod yes. She abandoned love and chose money. Qiang was heartbroken, so he decisively went abroad to study. He was gone for 3 years. When he returned, time had transformed the man she once dismissed into the one she could never forget. She would rather abandon everything to be with him. The luxury store was not large. Ruyan spotted me at once. A confident smile appeared on her face. She gave a cold snort, shooting me a disdainful glance, and said condescendingly, Boda, I don't remember you at all anymore. No matter how you chase after me, I don't even want to spare you a glance. Qiang looked me up and down, then pulled Ruyan closer. He said smugly, Boda, I heard you used to be Yanyan's boyfriend, but unfortunately, she lost her memory after the car accident. She has forgotten you completely. Now, she only remembers me. No matter how unwilling you are, Boda. It will not change anything. These two were truly obnoxious. I merely pointed to the limited edition watches and the necklaces I had chosen for you, Youwei. I said gently, please wrap all of these up. Ruyan burst out laughing. Gee, Boda, I've already forgotten you. Why are you still stuck to me like a burr? Do you think buying me a few necklaces can win back my heart? Qiang is the only man in my heart now. No matter how shamelessly you chase after me, I won't spare you a second glance. The watch in my hand was the newest model. Qiang's eyes lit up when he saw it. Pointing at it, he cried, Yan, I like this watch. The saleswoman smiled coolly and distantly. I'm sorry, sir. Mr. G has already purchased this watch. Ruyan glanced at my expression, then lifted her chin slightly. How about this, Boda? Give the watch to Qiang, and I'll consider taking your number off my block list. But don't push your luck. The man I love has always been Qiang from beginning to end. That arrogance of hers, wasn't it something I had indulged? The reason I enjoyed seeing people act so arrogant was because I had every means to shatter that pride whenever I pleased. Only the feeling of holding everything firmly in my grasp gave me the greatest pleasure. Ruyan barely had any money on her. Even if she maxed out her credit cards, she could not scrape together enough for a watch worth nearly 1,000,000 yuan. She dared stand here and stop me because she was certain I would get jealous, then try to make her happy by willingly paying up for her and her childhood sweetheart. I could not be bothered with her. Instead, I voiced the question I had been holding back. Ruyan, when did I ever say your memories matter that much to me? Can those little memories of yours make my company's stock rise again, or help me close some major deal? Ruyan was completely stunned. She frowned and muttered instinctively, those are all the little moments from our 3 years together. Didn't we just eat together for 3 years and have fun together for 3 years? So you forgot, big deal. What's so serious about that? You don't actually think that without you, I can't find someone else to eat, drink, and have fun with, do you? Qiang walked over and draped an arm around my shoulder. Exactly. Without you, Boda, and I can still have a good time. Ruyan shook her head, looking utterly convinced. Impossible. I don't believe you don't care at all about those 3 years. This indifferent act of yours is completely fake. You're only doing it to keep me by your side. But that day, the watch Qiang had been dreaming about never made it onto his wrist. The moment Qiang and I left, Qiang picked up another expensive watch and looked at Ruyan with hopeful eyes. Ruyan had already braced herself to pay, but the saleswoman told them in a flat voice, this watch is out of stock. This is the only one left in the store, and it is not for sale. Why don't you to look at something else first? For instance, we also have fly swatters, globes, and mahjong tables. The meaning was obvious. If they wanted the watch, they had to buy a bundle of unwanted extras first. The absurdly high required spending left Ruyan dumbfounded. With the little money she had, she could not possibly keep up that pretense. She could only drag her childhood sweetheart away in humiliation. Then, she posted on Moments. She had blocked my number, but still kept me on WeChat. Clearly, it was meant for me to see. Her new post read, after all the twists and turns, you are still my whole world. Below it was a photo of her with that childhood sweetheart. The photo was taken at the revolving restaurant atop the mall. They were hugging as they took a selfie, but Qiang in the photo did not look too pleased. Back when Qiang was in college, his family circumstances were about the same as Ruyan's. They had little money to study abroad. He had drained his family's savings. This time, he returned home with the goal of finding a wealthy woman to support him. Ruyan's act had been flawless. It made Qiang think his former childhood sweetheart had suddenly risen high and become part of high society. But he had been back for 2 days, and he had not seen a single luxury car, mansion, or designer item she promised. He truly could not smile. The floating comments began complaining too. What is this supposed to be? According to the original plot, shouldn't the male and female leads be lovey-dovey by now? Why are they arguing instead? How could they not argue? They thought they would be staying in a grand villa, but they never even got through the door. They had to make do with a shabby motel. The promised luxury car had been taken away by Nanny Wong too. They waited an hour before they got a taxi. Not to mention the watch the male lead wanted. He did not get a single one. In the original plot, the supporting male lead was obsessed with love. He kept chasing after the female lead with money and gifts, begging her to take him back. Now that the second male lead is no longer her desperate love-struck fool, the 2 leads are broke students fresh out of school. How could they afford romance and luxury? Now the supporting male lead can see the female lead's Moments post. If she posts like this every day, he will probably get jealous soon and chase after her, begging her to regain her memories. Please, I would rather watch the supporting male lead with the female lead's best friend. The young master, and the little wildcat. I love that contrast. I read through the floating comments one by one, then glanced at the plane tickets I had just booked. Youwei really did have remarkable stamina. She could carry luggage and walk 3 miles without getting winded. With fitness like that, it would be a shame not to take her on a spontaneous, high-intensity overseas trip. That would truly be a waste. Just as those comments drifted past, I noticed Ruyan had posted on Moments again. It seemed she was determined to flaunt her romance right in front of me. There were 2 electronic tickets in the post, with the caption, "Taking the man I love to an amusement park to fulfill a promise from our youth." Those 2 tickets cost just over 900 yuan altogether. Just then, Youwei leaned closer, clinging to my arm coquettishly. "Boda, you have never posted me on Moments." The moment she acted cute, I melted completely. I immediately took out my phone, snapped a photo of our fingers intertwined, and posted it. The caption read, "Maldives trip. Here we come." The plane landed smoothly at Valana Airport. I gave Youwei an approving look. This little wildcat was every bit as wild as advertised. She was bursting with energy. After such a long flight, she was still lively the moment we landed. Once we had checked into the hotel, Youwei finally checked her phone. She found dozens of missed calls, and WeChat was flooded with messages. At first, Ryan's tone was still fairly patient. "Sis, did you see Boda's Moments post? To make me jealous, he found some woman from who knows where, and posted photos bragging that he had gone to the Maldives. Do I look like I would fall for a trick like that? Why are you not replying? You are not answering my calls either. Where exactly are you? Has Boda contacted you to ask about me?" Just as Youwei read the last message, Ryan's call came through. Youwei answered. Her tone was utterly relaxed. "What is it?" Ryan was clearly frantic on the other end. "These past few days, has Boda contacted you?" Youwei tilted her head and glanced at me, then answered truthfully. "He contacts me every day." That was not a lie. I did contact her every day. When Ryan heard that, her anxious heart instantly settled. I knew it. Boda still has feelings for me. All these tricks are just to make me give in first, right? I have amnesia. How can I possibly make the first move unless he shows some sincerity, properly admits his mistakes and apologizes to me, and changes that arrogant, spoiled rich boy temper of his? Otherwise, I will never speak to him again. I could not help it. I let out a quiet laugh, but Sharpir Ryan heard it through the phone. "I think I heard a man's voice beside you. He sounded familiar. Is it that man from last time?" Youwei answered. "It is him. You two are so romantic, always glued to each other. Where are you being sweet together now?" "The Maldives. What a coincidence." Ryan's tone brightened. Boda said he went to the Maldives too. "Keep an eye out for me. See whether he is fooling around with other women." Youwei and I explored beaches all over the Maldives. At sunset, she held my hand. As we walked across the soft sand, she watched a group of divers nearby with curiosity and asked me, "Boda, would you like to go diving later?" I knew she was the one who wanted to go, but Youwei knew how to respect boundaries. No matter how much I indulged her, she never forgot her place. Whenever she saw something she liked, a faint blush would spread across her sun-kissed cheeks. She would look a little shy, then carefully ask whether I liked it. If I said I did, she would leap with joy like a child given candy. If I found it uninteresting, she would immediately look away, always putting my feelings first. Unlike Ryan, she never bossed me around or barked orders at me. I followed her gaze toward the distance. "Come on, let's go have some fun." Youwei's face lit up with delight. We put on our diving gear, and she took my hand, carefully leading me underwater. Schools of damn selfish darted around us. Amazingly, even beneath the sea, the floating comments still appeared. Thanks to the supporting male lead, I finally get to see what the Maldives looks like. Why does no one care about the leads anymore? What is there to watch with those two? They argue about money 800 times a day. When they went to that amusement park half a month ago, they arrived early and walked around the lake. The female lead would not even buy a fast pass. They waited 3 hours for one ride, and the male lead got so angry that he stormed off. Just as expected, without the supporting male lead's money. All that sweet romance is complete nonsense. I am still thinking about those luxury goods Wang Ma threw away. Oh, come on. Have some perspective, commenter above. Was it not just 17 days and 15 hours ago that Wang Ma threw out 19 luxury gowns, 12 pairs of custom designer shoes, and 6 diamond necklaces? Look at me. I have forgotten it all. SHH, stop talking. Look. The male and female leads are fighting again. Clutching her maxed out credit card, Ryan felt her head splitting apart. Before they got together, Qiang had been her untouchable dream man. He was the man she had dreamed of seeing. But after only half a month together, the man she once dreamed of had become a grain of rice stuck to her clothes, impossible to shake off. She had never known dating a man could cost so much. She understood even less why a watch had to cost so much. She maxed out to credit cards just to get Qiang a watch with mediocre workmanship. It was not even the latest model. Now, she could not come up with another cent. Looking at the pricey French meal before her, Ruyan struggled for a long time before finally forcing herself to say, "You should pay for this meal." Qiang immediately lost his temper. "Why should I pay? Were you not the one who asked me out?" Ruyan got angry too. "When have I not paid for our meals? Why have you not paid a single cent?" Her voice rose a little. The strange looks from those around them made Ruyan's face burn with shame. "You should have said you had no money. Did you really have to pretend you could afford it? Who was it that bragged to me before, claiming you had a villa and luxury cars? And what happened? You stay in the cheapest motels and rely on taxis to get anywhere. Now, you cannot even afford one meal. This is the wealthy life you promised?" A wave of derisive laughter rose around them. Qiang slammed down his chopsticks, ignoring her completely. He turned and left. Ruyan wished the ground would swallow her whole. She regretted it bitterly. She never should have thrown away such a good life for so-called love. The restaurant's air conditioning was frigid. With icy hands and feet, Ruyan pulled out her phone. She found Youwei's WeChat. She typed and deleted her message, then deleted and typed again. Finally, she made up her mind and sent it. "Girl, did you run into Boda in the Maldives? Was there another woman with him?" It took half a day before she received a reply. "Other than me, there are no other women around Boda." Seeing the reply, Ruyan's anxious heart finally settled. Just as she thought, Boda must still love her. He had stayed in the Maldives so long, so he must have been clinging to Youwei every day, trying to help her recover her memories. Youwei and I barely stepped off the plane when floating comments flooded the screen. Why did the male lead break up with the female lead? Where's the sweet romance? I did not see a second of it. The female lead regrets it. Looks like she is going to find the supporting male lead and tell him she has regained her memory. At that moment, I was driving Youwei toward the villa. Torrential rain lashed the windows, with thunder and lightning crashing outside. Just as the comments said, from far away, I glimpsed someone crouching beneath the eaves by the villa gate. The comments said that ever since Ruyan broke up with Qiang, she had come to wait outside my villa almost every day, waiting for me to return from the Maldives. By now, this was her 13th day waiting there. When the familiar license plate came into view in the car's headlights, I clearly saw the excitement and anticipation in her eyes. I got out beneath an umbrella and frowned at her. Ruyan's voice brimmed with barely concealed joy, though she deliberately held it back, trying to sound calm. "Boda, I have good news. My memories are back to me." That was terrible news. It gave me a headache. Who even cared whether she remembered? Since she lost her memory, I had never once said I wanted her to remember. But Ruyan seemed possessed. She insisted I treasured those 3 years with her. I looked at her with utter impatience. "Whether you lost your memory or not, what does that have to do with me? Why do you keep chasing me just to tell me this?" Lightning flashed, turning Ruyan's face deathly pale. She shook her head desperately. "That is not true. Boda, you still love me. You have to. I have my memories back now. We can go back to how things were. I can be your girlfriend again." "All right." I looked at her as if she were a fool. "When were you ever my girlfriend?" "Boda, we were together for 3 years. In your phone, was I not saved as girlfriend?" I pulled out my phone, nearly shoving the screen into her face. "Open your eyes and look carefully. Your contact name is kept woman." Ruyan's expression changed instantly. Her lips moved, and after a long moment, she forced out a smile. "Boda, I know you are still angry that I forgot you after losing my memory, but changing my contact name on purpose does not change the fact that you love me. Besides, there is not another woman by your side. Is that not the best proof that you love me?" Just then, Youwei slowly climbed out of the passenger seat. Ruyan hurried forward. "Youwei, help me talk some sense into Boda. He is just too embarrassed to admit he still likes me. Look, he was in the Maldives for so long, and there was not a single woman with him." As her speech slowed further, Youwei ignored her entirely. She naturally linked her arm through mine, as though Ruyan did not exist. "Boda, you must be tired. Let us go inside and rest." Ruyan staggered, nearly falling to the ground. Another flash of lightning lit her bloodless face with brutal clarity. She could hardly believe her eyes. Her trembling finger pointed at Youwei. "You and him. What exactly are you to each other?" Youwei smiled like a victorious general and proudly declared, "I told you already. While we were in the Maldives, I was the only woman by Boda's side." Ruyan's face instantly twisted with rage, anger, despair, and pain intertwined, finally erupting in a hysterical scream. "Youwei, I always treated you like my own sister, and you took advantage of my amnesia to move in on him while I was vulnerable." Ruyan was no match for her. Youwei effortlessly gripped her wrist with one hand. "What do you mean, taking advantage?" Youwei shot back. "When you were with Qiang, Boda was single. So, What is wrong with me being with him? What is the problem? Besides, this amnesia of yours, was it even real? Ruyan instantly looked guilty. Her eyes darted away, afraid to meet mine. She stammered, unable to finish a single sentence. I never cared whether Ryan's amnesia was real. I had just gotten off a plane, and I was still exhausted. I waved her off impatiently. Enough. I do not care in the slightest whether you have amnesia. I just landed, and I am exhausted. I need to go home and rest. I turned to Youwei. Oh, right? Youwei. Let us find time to visit Hawaii sometime. Youwei's eyes immediately lit up. She nodded eagerly. We left Ryan completely ignored. Her lips trembled, as though she had only just realized that her best friend had replaced her place as my girlfriend. The rain outside poured ever harder. With the last of her strength, she pleaded. Boda, we were together for 3 years. Why did you never take me out anywhere? Every time we only went to hotels. I raised a finger to my lips and made a shushing gesture. Because your value was only in hotels. As for romance and adventure, I have someone more suitable. The villa door closed, shutting Ryan's voice outside. Through the heavy curtain of rain, I could still clearly hear her desperate cries. Boda, I truly know I was wrong. Please, will you look at me just once more? I would give you my life. She sounded utterly sincere. Of course, I knew. Ryan understood exactly how important money was. It was just that. In her original plan, this amnesia act would let her keep both the money and love. Sadly, she had been too greedy. In the end, she was destined to lose everything. Youwei curled her lip in disdain. All she has to offer is something so worthless. Then she added, as if her life were some precious treasure. I snorted and laughed. Yuju, starting tomorrow, move in with me. Youwei froze for a moment. A flicker of hesitation crossed her face. I frowned, thinking, what is wrong with her now? Does she not want to? I have no interest in forcing anyone. This time, I did not even bother faking a ringtone. I simply held my phone to my ear. Hello, Qiang, what do you need at this hour? What? You fell into the ocean? Near Nemo Point. Do not panic. I will take a boat out and rescue you at once. Youwei quickly cut me off. Boda, that is not what I meant. I was only worried that moving in would disturb your peace. I will move in. I will go pack my things and move in right now. The tip of her nose nearly touched mine. Her warm breath brushed softly across my face. I casually tossed aside my phone. I am really not forcing you. Not even a little. It is late. Move in tomorrow. Let us get some rest. Okay. But what about Qiang? Still drifting in international waters. It is no big deal. He can just swim 1,000 miles and reach Australia. It is only a tiny spot on the map. Why did he have to call me? Youwei nodded reluctantly. Then she leaned close and whispered, Boda, from now on, I will immediately agree to anything you say. Just please do not mention Qiang again, okay? You do not understand. That is just how he and I talk. No sooner had I spoken, as if to prove my point, than a call came in. It was the young girlfriend Qiang was keeping. She anxiously asked, Boda, Qiang said you have a fever of 45 degrees Celsius. He went to the hospital to see you, so he had no time to answer my call. Is that true? I immediately adopted a dying tone. Yes, it hit 45 degrees. 3 thermometers at home exploded from the heat. Qiang is downstairs buying me a late-night snack. When he gets back, I will have him call you. Do not worry, he still cares about you. Raindrops tapped against the window pane. Yet the floating comets in the sky grew more transparent, as if they could vanish at any moment. I moved into a tiny, cramped attic. It was freezing in winter and sweltering in summer. My life had completely changed from the day I met Boda. I never had to worry about making a living again, or run myself ragged for a few dollars. Yet that warm, affluent life only made me miss Qiang's tenderness even more. Over 3 years, that longing took root in my heart and grew into a towering tree. In the end, I decided to take a desperate gamble. I came up with the plan to fake amnesia, dreaming of having both money and love. But I never imagined Boda would dump me so decisively, then turn around and choose Youwei. I simply could not understand it. I was clearly prettier than Youwei. Why would Boda choose her? After hiding in that tiny rental for half a month, I had no money left, so I had to find work. With my still presentable face, I found a job as a waitress. The restaurant was on the top floor, a favorite haunt for the wealthy. Once upon a time, I had sat here being waited on. But now, I could only carry trays, weaving between countless tables. In my 3rd month on the job, I ran into Boda. He was still the same as ever, confident and effortlessly charming. Compared with Qiang, who had latched onto a wealthy woman, Boda was far superior. The man I once idealized had become an annoyance I could not shake, while the man I'd once dismissed as a nuisance had become the love etched on my heart again. At his side was still Youwei. The awkwardness of seeing them again made me turn away instinctively. I did not dare approach them. I watched another server respectfully hand them the menu. Youwei took it and casually ordered several dishes. I sneered inwardly. The dishes Youwei ordered were none of Boda's usual favorites. I refused to believe someone like her could stay by his side for long, but I did not expect Boda's cheerful voice to carry over next. Yuju, how did you know these are my favorite dishes? You mentioned them before, so I made a note of it. Being with you is so much more comfortable, unlike certain people before, who only ordered what they liked here and never remembered my taste. My heart sank. Only then did I realize that when Boda and I were together, whether he ordered or I did, we always ended up ordering only what I liked throughout the entire meal. I did not dare go near them. It was not until they had finished eating and were about to leave that, after hesitating for a long time, I finally gathered all my courage and stepped forward to call out to him. Boda. He turned to look at me. I looked into his eyes, full of hope, wishing he would say he still thought of me, or even that he still loved me. But he merely curled his lips, giving me a knowing look, before tossing out a few words. And you are. I got amnesia a few days ago, so all those people from before who were not that important, I happened to